Hold on. Here we go. Where's the theme song? Where is it? There it is. Ooh, wait, hold on. Let me click everything. Click this off. Click this. Woo! Welcome to, get out of this screen, move into that screen. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host. Hello. I'm your host, global happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner, oracle, but most importantly, a student, ongoing student, always learning, always growing. This journey is never over until you breathe your last breath. Happiness specialist. What the hell does that even mean? Let me just calm down a little bit, because one of the things, let me give you a little behind the scenes. The truth is, this morning I woke up early. I have probably at least 2 hours before the show goes live, and I don't know why I always wait till the last minute. To start organizing, setting everything up. And so, but you know what? I'm to a point right now. It's not even rushing anymore. It's just here we go. Before I start, let me just share with you that this show is growing. The message is growing. And what's the message? The message is happiness is a practice skill. Is happiness a choice? I hear that. No, it's not a choice if you're programmed. So I'm going to be talking about one of the most deep-seated programs that's out there right now. And when I say programmed, I'm talking about when you popped out of the womb, you didn't have all of these behaviors to compare, to have expectations, to judge, to rush, to be impatient. All of the programs are the problems. All of the programs are the reasons for the mental suffering. Let me just say that. And this doesn't apply to everyone. One of the things that I want to say that I haven't said in a while, I do not pretend, even though I act like and sound like I'm a know-it-all. I don't pretend to know everything, but I have studied this topic on happiness for over 45 years. And when I say happiness, it is a vibration. It is an energy. It is not, forget the words. It's a vibration. It's an energy of what? It's an energy of contentment. It's an energy of peace. And so when I say happiness, that's what I'm talking about. How do you maintain and how do you sustain that energy of peace and contentment, regardless of what life throws at you? Regardless, it's a practice. That's the good news. And if I can do it, you can do it. And it's such a practice that, hold on, I wrote a book about it. Programmed for Unhappiness. Oh, by the way, let me just do this. If you want to call and speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646 564-9619 and just press the number 1. If you want to join me on the Noom Vibe app, just ask to join the stage. You know how we do that. But the book Program for Unhappiness, I'm holding it up. It's available on Amazon and Lulu and Barnes and Noble. I'm looking at your comments. I'm actually doing a show right now, so I'm your one and only audience. Well, you may be my one and only audience right where you are right now. I do welcome. I love it. And let me just say this about numbers and likes and numbers, whether it's bank account numbers, whether it's follower numbers, whether it's like numbers. Numbers can't matter if you really are committed to and you really prioritize this thing called contentment. Numbers, I can't be concerned with numbers. However, what I do want to share before I get into today's topic, just a little background, that I do a live show every Saturday morning with my son. It's at 9:15. It's called, you have to wait to the end because it's a long title. Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense Plus More. Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense Plus More. Every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, in the month of September, my editor from Generational Copy, we have a conversation every Saturday evening at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's for the entire month of September. So we've already taped 2 shows, and we're talking about the book, Program for Unhappiness, and we're also just talking about life in general and just everyday issues, everyday challenges, reality, spirituality. So we have 2 more episodes. What else was I going to say? Yep, that's it. A little bit of background, just a little. When I talk about happiness, know that I'm talking about a state of mind, a person. I said this already, but a personal energy to maintain. And one of the program behaviors that subtracts is using the word because. Now, why would using the word because, I'm asking myself a question. How crazy is that? Why is using the word because such a signal? And I'm going to explain. I'll share a story that I shared on both of the shows. A couple of days ago, I had some shutters installed in the bathroom, and of course, the measurements were off, and the gentleman had to come back. So there's two installers in the house. And we're talking about the shades, we're talking about the shutters just for a second, and how they're going to measure and come back. And one of the guys had he put his hand on the wall, the where the door frame is. So he put his hand on the door frame and he was leaning on the door frame. Now, if you know me, well, scratch that. If you know Rebecca Norrington, she's very, very particular, especially particular about where she lives. And the house, it's an old house, but it would just been painted, inside paint. So the guy has his hand on the door jamb, and Rebecca, I'm gonna separate. You see how you separate? So the Rebecca Norrington instantly has an energy of irritation, anger, annoyance. And she said, with that irritation, Take your hands off the wall. I don't even remember how I said it. Take your hands off the wall. Get your hands off the wall. Get your hands off the wall. I said it with irritation. Let's dissect all of this, because this story is something that everyone can relate to. Something happens, instantly irritation, instant anger, instant annoyance. He took his hand off the wall, and of course he wasn't really happy with me. He gave me a scowling look. And I'm live on YouTube if you want to. If you're on Noom Vibe and you want to see the show live on YouTube, I'm live on my YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. And if you want to speak with me live and call in, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. I have 3 people in the queue. And if you want to speak with me live, just press the number 1. Okay. Back to the hand on the wall. Yes, this Rebecca's very particular. Very. Not crazy. Not OCD, but particular, whatever. After the truth is, the anger, the irritation, the annoyance, the anger, the irritation, the annoyance had nothing to do with this gentleman and his hand on the wall. Had nothing to do with this installer who's been installing shutters all day long. Who knows if the hands are clean? You follow me? You see how crazy Rebecca is? It has nothing, the anger, the irritation, the annoyance has nothing to do with what happens. Let me give you another example. And this is even more common. Well, I don't know if it's more common, but let me give you another example. You're driving. How many of you out there have road rage? You're driving and you have to get somewhere, and the person in front of you is slow, or someone cuts in front of you without signaling. Road rage. You know what road rage is. I don't have to explain it. How many of you, just raise your hand, because I can see everything. Just because I'm here doesn't mean I can't see you. You see how crazy? How many of you driving and somebody's let's call them a rude driver, or inconsiderate driver, or dangerous driver, or just driving, and they you're weaving and bobbing, and how many of you react while you're driving? I mean, instant anger, instant annoyance about the other driver. Usually that's kind of common. That's happened to me before. So the point is this: the irritation, the anger, the annoyance has nothing to do with the driver. Has nothing to do with the other driver. All of the emotions. Now, this is my perspective. Global happiness specialist. All of the emotions that you feel, that I feel, have nothing to do with the experience that is unfolding. Well, how can that be? That doesn't make sense. It has to trigger, what's going on has to trigger, and then I have an emotion. No, the emotions are first. One of my favorite sayings. In fact, he's a teacher, spiritual teacher in Oregon. His name is Guy Finley, Guyfinley, Guy Finley. I don't remember some of the things that he says, but I do remember this quote, and write this down or not. The feel is real. The why is a lie. The feel is real. The why is a lie. And there we bring it all back, tie it up with the bow. And that's why I'm talking about using that word because. I'm feeling this way because. I'm happy because. I'm sad because. I'm lonely because. Okay, stay with me. Stay with me. I do have a point. Let me look for my point. There it is. There's the point. Now I forgot what I was saying. No, I didn't forget. This is when I talk about the program behaviors in the book, Program for Behavior, a Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. I list 55 behaviors that subtract from your happiness. And there's 3 different levels of program behaviors. And level 3, so you can imagine the first level is I say is the level for civilians, for people that are that anyone would agree that yes, worrying subtracts from your happiness, or complaining subtracts from your happiness, or comparing yourself to someone else subtracts. So that's easy. The third level is the level of using the word because. And the reason, when a person says, I'm feeling this way because, who or what entity is coming up with the content? What entity is coming up with whatever follows the word because? I feel this way because the guy put his hand on the wall. I feel angry because I'm frustrated because I'm annoyed because I'm sad because I'm bitter because I'm resentful because. Are you getting it? Of course you are, because my audience is brilliant. The practice starts with self-awareness and being aware, practicing being aware, staying aware with every word, with everything that you say. It's not just talking, oh, hi, how are you? Have a good day. It's not just talking. I mean, I'm around people when I'm out and about, and the majority just talk without even realizing the depth of their conversation and what they are, not even realizing where, let me see if I can say where the information, where the words, where the thoughts, where the story's coming from. The practice is to feel everything that you're feeling. Number 1 is accept all feelings. But attaching a story as to why you're feeling this way is just not the truth. You're not feeling that it's a very small, in fact, I'm not even going to say small, maybe a grain of sand. You're feeling whatever way you're feeling only because it's time to feel that. It's the season to feel that. Whatever the feeling is. And some feelings are wanted and some feelings are unwanted. But what entity is wanting the feelings and what entity is not wanting the feelings? The practice is knowing, because they're knowing the difference between yourself and your person. The person is the one that is just reacts to life, is programmed. The person is the entity that lives on the surface of the ocean. Okay, so that means that whatever the ocean is doing, if the ocean is choppy, if it's stormy, if it's rough, if it's wavy, or if it's calm, that means that the person is going to be affected and acting like whatever the be a prisoner to the whim of whatever the ocean is doing. And let's use ocean as life. So then let me just speak for myself. So then I'm a victim of whatever life throws at me. And that's one of the reasons why I started this whole research in the first place. Is it possible to have to maintain an energy of a vibration of contentment, regardless of the tides of the ocean, regardless of what life throws? And the answer is yes. But it is a practice. It's a practice that is 100% spent. And if you're on YouTube, 100% spent in the mirror. I'm holding up a mirror. I'm holding up a homemade mirror. Look at that. One of my students gifted this to me. A homemade. Look at the back of this mirror. Isn't that beautiful? A homemade mirror. Here we go. Because you hear I'm using it, but the practice is done in the mirror. It's not easy to look in the mirror and say, oh, it's not out there. It's here. It's me. It's not them. It's me. It's not an easy practice. It's the programming is to point outwards. It's them. It's the world. And by the way, I don't meet too many people that say that everything is in order in the world. No, usually the program is, everything's falling apart. It's from wars to, and I'm not poo-pooing anything. I'm just stating that if I talk to the majority of people, usually it's what a messed up world we're living in now. That's all I'm saying. What a messed up world. Of course, there's another word other than messed up. I contend that however that your perception of everything, the world, other people, your perception is a clue to how just scratch that. Let me see. Hold on. Your perception is a clue as to what's going on inside of you. What you perceive, you believe. And that's why the practice, one of the important things to practice is finding more than one perspective. When you use the word because, what comes after that is one perspective. One perspective. I'm feeling angry because one perspective, one thought, one story. And if you are serious and committed to experience more contentment, the one perspective is limiting millions of perspectives. Can you imagine millions of perspectives, but you don't know what they are, but you trust that there are more than one way to look at the situation. I trust, I believe, and I act, and I behave as if there is more than one perspective to look at any situation. However, if I don't get that, if I can't figure it out, or if I can't come up with another perspective, that's okay too. I will trust, and that's the behavior. I will trust, and I know that there's more than one way to look at any situation. And I'm talking anyone. But the programming just teaches, look at it one way. Do you see how limiting that is? Not only is it limiting the perspectives, it's limiting your It's limiting the ability. It's limiting the ability to journey through this life with just what did they say? Akuna Matata. Everything's okay. Everything will be okay. Everything happens for a reason. Things are in order. That just it's an instant go-to. In fact, hold on a second. Let me check out my own book. Oh, you know what? I don't need to look because I don't even know what page it is on. So let me do this. Let me get my own notes. Hold on, audience. Hold on, audience. Here we go. Perfect. Program behaviors. So the state that I live in, how I live all the time. Oh, you know what? I skipped over something. So living on the surface of the ocean, that means that I'm affected by whatever the ocean does. If the ocean is choppy and rough, then I'm feeling like that too. Oh, if you saw me on YouTube, I'm just shaking my head. What a nut. I'm telling you, when I started videoing these shows, sometimes I make myself laugh. Not all, sometimes, all the time. Okay, back to the surface of the water. Or you can practice living at the bottom of the ocean. I've used this analogy more than once. The bottom of the ocean. That means what's happening there. Same ocean. Bottom, content, quiet, peaceful. Doesn't matter what's going on the surface of the ocean, does it? Does it matter? No, because it's always going to be different. It's always going to be changing. It's always going to be something new. And I will be damned if I allow the ocean to dictate how I am going to respond or feel on this journey. It's like being a baseball player and just hitting each pitch, whether it's a slider, a sinker, what is a fastball, slow ball, curveball. I don't know if there's a slow ball, curveball. All of those, when you practice living in a state of neutrality, and you practice trusting, and you practice living consciously, and you practice self-awareness, and you practice letting go of thinking that you know the know-it-all, you know what the universe is doing. When you practice all of that, you are more likely to that becomes your set point. That becomes your foundation. That becomes what you are rooted in. Calm, peace, contentment, neutrality. It's a what I get. Let me just what I get from people is, wow, gee, you don't care about anything and can't get excited and no emotion. That's not human. Oh, I'm human. Well, I can feel, I can get excited, but I don't do future excitements. I do excitements in the moment. I don't do future, scratch that. I don't practice because I don't have this 100%. I don't have it 100%, but I practice every single moment, every day. This is all I do. When you practice living, staying at the bottom of the ocean, not on the surface, not with the ups and downs in life, which is inevitable. When you practice, there is an ease to life that I cannot explain with words. And when I say an ease, I mean an ease with all of the news that you get, an ease of getting information, processing information. It's just there's a calm to it. And there's a calm to it for more than one reason. First of all, I'm just a spectator here. I'm a spectator. I'm here to observe and enjoy and witness this whole thing we call life on earth. I'm just a spectator. And when you practice taking on that role of spectator as opposed to all involved in it, there's a difference between there's a difference between going to a movie and being in the audience and watching Halloween is coming up and watching a scary movie. A big difference than being. Let me back up a little bit. What I'm saying is scratch the visualize. Practice. The life is the screen. I'm watching the life. There's a screen, movie screen. I'm watching, I'm observing, I'm witnessing everything that's happening to me, for me, all of it. But I'm not in it. I'm watching it. And I'm watching this Rebecca Norrington twist and turn and have these ideas and these thoughts, which is also is my ego. The ego, something isn't right, something needs to be changed. No, all of that. If you are not aware, you can get caught up in it in a second, and also aware of the separation between higher self, scratch the higher self, presence. The presence is the presence is always here. It's impossible to be disconnected from presence, awareness. It's God having a human experience through us, through you, through me. And the universe, God, whatever term you want to use, has a sense of humor, doesn't it? Doesn't it? A sense of humor. I don't find it that funny, quite frankly. let me, because I wrote something down. Hold on a second. Where is it? Sense of humor. Oh, it's something. Let's see. What did it say? And I have to say that this isn't mine. I got this from Moji, Mooji. You can Google anything on YouTube. Search for Moji on YouTube. Highly recommend. I mean, this teacher is beyond. God has a sense of humor. The soul has a sense. That's what he said. The soul has a sense of humor. And the unwanted moments that the Rebecca Norrington says, don't want to experience that. No, thank you. The soul is welcoming all of it. All of it. So guess what? If the soul, if God, if the universe wants to experience all of it, and I'm up here and this Rebecca is struggling, and resisting and judging the moments and the experience and limiting the I'm feeling this way because, and that's just not the truth. Remember, the feel is real. The why is a lie. If you want to speak with me live, because I'm about to wrap this up. If you want to speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. Press the number 1. And if you want to speak with me on Noom Vibe, just ask to join the stage. Backing up to the word because. Now, even though you're listening to this, my dear, dear, dear audience, even though you're listening to this, one of the things that after 45 years I know is that the practice, it's not about getting the practice perfect. It's just about being persistent with the practice. It's not about having an epic change or oh, it's just being persistent. Can you imagine if all you did for the rest of your remaining days, you just practice this? Trust, at peace with uncertainty, starving the ego, choosing peace in all moments, practicing acceptance, staying out of everybody else's business, choosing your perspective, choosing your focus, celebrating your growth, practice patience, remaining open to all possibilities, all ideas, remain open. Knowing the truth about your identity, meaning this, one of the things, I think Eckhart Tolle said it, that the death of the ego has to die, all of that. I get it. There is a form, whether you want to say death to it, but there is a recognizing the difference between the presence and the person. It's a big difference. And in each moment, which one are you identifying with? The presence or the person? One of the clues, cheat notes, if you will, of one of the clues to know that it is a story when it's coming up in your head, the thoughts and the stories. One of the clues is to only, if it's over 3 words, it's a story. It's coming up with the feel is real, but the why. Because. Why is this happening? Because. Why is this going on? Because. Why do I feel this? Because. You see, it is constant, the why and the because. And I'm here to say, let go when that happens. I don't know why, but I trust it's happening for my betterment. I don't know why. I don't care why, but it's happened. It's serving me. I don't know why. I don't care why. There is a reason for this. I don't know why. I don't care why. Enjoy the ride. The because, not only is it not true what happened, not only is it not the truth. I'm feeling sad because nobody's called me. Nobody's called. No, I haven't talked to anyone. It's Christmas and nobody's called. That's why I'm feeling sad or lonely. Or the whole holiday thing and the whole depression during the holidays. That's another program. I'm feeling depressed because of the holidays. No, maybe it's just time for you to feel depressed. You follow this. This is really, I don't want to say advanced, but this is another level of awareness that when you practice, I promise you, there will be less to do, less to think about, and you will feel lighter. You will feel lighter. No stories to analyze, no stories to latch on to. But let me just warn you, this is a warning. When you decide and practice to eliminate focusing on the ego, the mind is going to fight back ruthlessly. No, in fact, let me see. What did I write? So it's about being aware. The ego always lives on the edge, just waiting to come out, waiting to show, waiting for its debut, waiting for its time on the stage. We talked about watching. We talked about being in the audience and then watching and observing, witnessing. The ego is waiting for its moment in the spotlight. But without giving it a voice, giving it a story, what happens is it becomes weak. Its power becomes weak. But when it scratch the weak, but its power over, let me just speak for myself. Its power over my decision making, my decision making, my behavior is almost non-existent. And I don't know about you, but if whether it's an animal, whether it's an entity, if I know that I'm going to be snuffed out, my days are limited, I'm going to fight. I'm going to resist. I'm not going to go peacefully like Jesus did. Speaking of peaceful, I'm not going to go peacefully. I'm going to struggle. And so with that struggling, I'm just giving you a heads up. There will be a struggle, and it will be constant. It's not going, well, it hasn't ended with me. I'm 68 years old, and my ego is always waiting for a moment to imitate me. Get out. And it has, of course, just told you the other day what happened. However, I'm wise to it. I'm wise to it. I'm wise to its tactics. I'm wise to its disguises. I'm wise to all of its behavior. And you are too. You know, and I'm telling you, this separating yourself, knowing the difference, separating the awareness from the mind is a game changer. Game changer. Program for unhappiness, exposing the untold truth. The evidence is real. You know what? Let me see where I know I wrote something about. Hold on a second. Hold on. I know I wrote something. Here we go. Page 79. Oh, 79. Page 79. 79. And here we go. Why is it taking me so long to find page 79? It's right after page 78. Stop using the word because. The feel is real, the why is a lie. All programmed people love using the word because. Why is that? She asked quizzitively. Think about what comes after the word because. It's always a justification and a confirmation and a confirmational story of why the emotions, also known as feelings, originated in the first place. But to cripple the ego, we need to stop digging for an explanation and reason to appease it. Would you like to regain your power and weaken the ego's grasp? Yes, I say yes. What paralyzes the ego the most is when you respond to life's problems and challenges with, here we go, I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I know that feelings come and go, and I won't feel like this forever. I trust everybody. I trust everything is in divine order. You know, I'm going to be reading my book, audio book. I'm going to be reading it and also videotaping it at the same time. I better practice my reading. Let me do that one again. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I know that feelings come and go, and I won't feel like this forever. I trust everything is in divine order. I urge you to practice eliminating the word because from your from your vocabulary. Oh, you know what? I really do need to practice reading. I urge you to practice eliminating the word because from your vocabulary, because when you use, I didn't say because, when you use because, you ignore other perspectives and your vibrational energy becomes almost impossible to shift during a life challenge. If you only have one perspective, you're stuck. Truth, the ego can only manage one perspective. That's why you know it's the ego. It's only got one perspective. There's only one way to look at this. Only one way. They're a narcissist. They're a racist. Only one way. Only one way. Who's more powerful? Someone that can see multiple possibilities or just one? You've heard about having limited beliefs. I'm talking about having limited perspectives. When you use the word because, you limit other perspectives 100% of the time. Well, let me read that again. When you use the word because, you limit other perspectives 100% of the time. You know what? Let me just stop here and just bask in the genius of my words. Sorry. Listen, I'm up here. Someone commented on in the chat. There's only one viewer. Yeah, well, there's millions of viewers. You don't get it. They're just not here. There's millions of viewers. Is she crazy? She could be. Okay, where was I? 100. So limit perspectives 100% of the time when you use the word because. When your perspectives are limited, seeing how circumstances work in your favor is impossible. When your perspectives are limited, seeing how circumstances work in your favor is impossible. As a result, it's hard to shift your energy during a crisis. Have you noticed that your ego only offers you one perspective? Why am I angry? I'm angry because fill in the blank. The ego always attaches a story to provide a reason for the anger. And all I'm telling, or I'll scratch that, all I'm sharing with you today is it's not going to be an easy practice, but letting go of those stories. I can't, you know how many times I've had shows on the stories. That's how important, that's how vital this practice is. But the stories make sense. The stories always make sense. The stories, they just, yeah, of course, that's the reason. Let go of thinking that you know and be okay. Be at peace with not knowing. There's a time for everything, including genuine human feelings and emotions. But just like the ebb and flow of nature, our emotions come and go like ocean tides. Truth. When a volcano erupts, is it because it's angry, sad, disappointed, resentful, or fearful? No, the volcano erupts because it's time for it to erupt. You're feeling what you're feeling because it's time to feel that way. Period. Unless you're a researcher explaining scientific phenomena, eliminating the word because, the ego's word because, and practice not attaching a story as to why you're feeling emotion, you will automatically, the practice automatically is very freeing. And it is life changing. Letting go of stories is life changing, but your ego doesn't want to let go. Let me be very clear. Your ego is not going to want to let go, and is going to be the most convincing ever. The feel is real. The why is a lie. Practice letting go of not using that word because. Because what comes after that word is all authored by the ego. Wow, what a great show. If I must say so myself. That's the end of today's show. Thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality Radio is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Saturday morning at 9:15, live on YouTube. I host a show with my son, my only son. It's called Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more, every Saturday at 9:15 on YouTube, Pacific Standard Time. Also, during the month of September, every Saturday evening at 5 o'clock Pacific Time, this is going to be our third interview coming up this Saturday with my editor, and we're going to be talking about Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. And in this book, I list 55 program behaviors. It's on Amazon. The first book is Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness. That's on Amazon. And until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. God is having an experience through you. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend by accepting yourself in every moment. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. Practice this for a week. I challenge you to practice being aware of the stories first. The awareness is the work. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, happiness specialist Rebecca L. Norrington. Remember, happiness is a practice skill, and I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace, the more contentment you will find, and your experience in every moment reflects on what you practice. Have a conscious week. I'm out of here. Music theme song. Got a question for it's time to get some answer, baby. Oh, now we getting real. Spirituality. Real good. Time to get. And here, and there, and here.